Welcome to our Future of Britain debate. My name is Lionel Barber. I'm the editor of the FT. What will happen to the transatlantic alliance? What role can the UK play, specifically looking at the geopolitical outlook? Anne?
What I would like to see now is Britain, together with France, together with Germany, together with the other larger countries in Europe, and I hope together with the EU, is to begin to start to think through what a new European security architecture is going to look like, hopefully with the United States, but with the possibility that the United States might not play the role that it used to play before.
Does this just come down to money, that Mr. Trump, President Trump, looks at Europe and says they're a bunch of deadbeats?
I think in the case of Trump, it's deeper than that. It's not just about money, it's about a failure to understand or grasp the idea of the alliance, that it's a group of democracies that are in sympathy with one another. He doesn't care about that.
What chance do you think there is of literally us falling off a cliff and having no deal, and we resort to WTO, World Trade Organization rules?
At the moment, we have completely free trade with the EU. We have the same regulatory regime, so coming up with a trade deal is fairly straightforward. And also all the other countries who the EU currently has a trade deal with, Mexico, South Korea, are all basically lining up to say, look, let's just replicate the trade deal post-Brexit.
I think even the quite straightforward trade deals that you can point to in the world take longer than we're expecting. I mean, someone pointed out to me, encouragingly, they said, well, the Versailles Treaty only took 5 months to do, but that was not a great precedent, if those of us who do know our history. And if you look at, it's not, as Matthew knows well, it's not just about the sort of narrow trade rules. It's all the plethora of mutual recognition agreements, which there is almost no member of the WTO which only trades on the rules that are in the WTO now. They all have those kind of bilateral arrangements, which they have developed over decades.
Martha, you've run a business. How important is that the UK deal with immigration and manage them the levels down? Because that's implicit.
Yes. Well, it's hard to stay calm as a member of the tech sector on this particular point. And I know that the rhetoric back from Leave is about looking for talent pools in other bits of the world and so on and so forth. But if you look at the absolute numbers and you look at how businesses grow and how we will, to my mind, ever be able to compete with the huge platform and scale businesses that we see coming from the US, we have to have a deep and talent-based relationships in the tech sector with Europe. Otherwise, we won't be able to fill our vacancies. I don't believe we will grow scale businesses. You know, the entire European tech sector, which is its absolute peak right now and has got this incredible kind of regeneration happening. Someone described it, I think it was even in the FT today, yesterday, as a renaissance. It's still only 7% of the US's tech sector. 7%. There is no way we can compete, and talent and people and movement of people, to my mind, is absolutely core of that.
Stephanie?
I mean, I think, obviously, any economist, anyone in the business sector is concerned about the tensions here. And I think in the way that Matthew described the vote and the implications for immigration, I think you sort of capture the problem that, you know, it would almost be the take back control is consistent, and the argument for it that was put is consistent with exactly the same immigration and exactly the same model of the economy. And apparently everyone would be happy as long as the idea that it was domestic politicians deciding it. And I think that sets us up for battling out these tensions between a more open vision of the UK and a more closed vision, while you would end up with quite a lot of economic costs, because you are, whether explicitly or implicitly, deterring the kinds of immigration you need, and yet disappointing people, because actually a lot of these things, these economic issues that people were responding to will still be there.
Please join me in thanking the distinguished panel for contributing. Thank you very much, Twitter, and in general, thank you.